Hey folks, it's Phil here from AttackForge. Today I'm going to show you how to do effective and efficient vulnerability remediation and retesting. This is crucial for any vulnerability management and penetration testing program to ensure your vulnerabilities are getting addressed, fixed, and closed. Let's start by taking a look at some vulnerabilities which were discovered recently on this web app pen test. So here we have some different vulnerabilities that have been discovered so far. Let's take a look at the first one. So looking at this vulnerability, we can see some key information. For example, we can see that this vulnerability is still open. It has an SLA for remediation assigned with 14 days remaining. We can see which asset and related component of that web application has this vulnerability, as well as all of the description, attack scenario, and recommendation, as well as any evidence that's been uploaded. On the right hand side, we can see the steps to reproduce the vulnerability and any supporting notes, tags, and linked test cases, so we know how this vulnerability was found. We're going to start the journey towards remediation by submitting a remediation plan. The remediation plan helps us track and understand exactly when the engineering team is planning to address this vulnerability. So let's go ahead and select a date and add some supporting information and go ahead and update that. So now we'll see that not only can we see the SLA assigned to the vulnerability, but we also know what the target remediation date is as well. And if we click on the remediation button, we can track the entire remediation history for this vulnerability. So after the engineering team have completed all the work required to fix this issue, they can come in and click on Update Status and set the vulnerability as ready for retesting. This is going to help the security team know that it's now going to be ready for them to take a look and validate that the issue's been resolved. We can see now that the vulnerability is flagged for retesting and all of our remediation history has been updated. So let's go ahead and add all the other vulnerabilities for retesting. Now we can see they've all been flagged for retesting. And we can also track and filter on their target remediation date or remediation plan, as well as the SLA. Now to request a retest, we're going to click on retesting from the project menu. So from here, we're going to click on request retest. We're going to select the date from when we want the retest to happen. And then we're going to select all the vulnerabilities we want to be retested in this round. And click request retest. We're going to start our retest by working through each vulnerability that's in scope. We're going to click on each vulnerability and see all of the information that's been included as part of the remediation. This is going to help us understand where the engineers have focused their remediation efforts. We can upload supporting evidence if we need to capture the results of the retest. Otherwise, we can come in and choose to close the vulnerability if it's been fixed, or reopen the vulnerability if it hasn't been fixed. Let's go ahead and close it. So here we can select a reason why we're closing the vulnerability and add some additional information. And go ahead and click Update. So now that we can see the vulnerability has been closed, and if we click on Remediation, we can see who closed it, when they closed it, and why they closed it. So once we finish retesting all the vulnerabilities, we're going to click again on retesting, and then we're going to click on complete round. This is going to notify the team that we've now finished the round of retesting. All of the information, including what was in scope and what was retested, is also available in the reports. Sometimes you might want to do a retest as a new round of testing. To make it easy, you can come in and click on Clone Project. This is going to make it very easy to set up a new round of testing using all of that key information from that original round. You can set up your project, notification settings, and members as needed. And when it gets to the vulnerabilities, you can go ahead and select the ones that you want to retest in this new round of testing. So now we're going to create this new project, and we'll see that we have a new round of testing that's going to be performed. But we also have those vulnerabilities that were included from the previous round that also need to be retested on this project. So from the project dashboard, we can see how many rounds of retesting have been requested and completed. We can also see how many vulnerabilities are currently assigned for retesting. And if we click on scheduling, we can see an overview of all of our projects. They're all color-coded to make it easy to track their status. For example, the yellow ones are the ones which are assigned for retesting. Now if we click on projects, we can enter a retesting view for all of our projects. This makes it easy to see how many vulnerabilities have been discovered which are still open, closed, or flagged for retesting on a project. And we can also see how many rounds of retesting have been requested and also how many have been completed. This makes it easy to identify where there's retests that haven't yet happened on projects. So from the global dashboard, we can see some information about all our vulnerabilities. We can also see how many vulnerabilities are currently flagged for retesting across all of your projects. And from the vulnerabilities module, here we can see a list of every single vulnerability. And you can apply different filters to get the ones that you're interested in for targeting for remediation. For example, we can see all critical and high vulnerabilities which are currently assigned for retesting. This makes it very easy to filter the information that you need to do very targeted and efficient remediation testing. You can also export the data into a CSV format for offline processing and optimize your table configuration to help you with your remediation. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let us know what you think in the comments. I'm looking forward to seeing you next time.